Let's get one thing straight. While the 3DS will have new and original titles, it's no stranger to remakes. Star Fox, Zelda, Metal Gear Solid, and Street Fighter are just a couple of examples. While new games are always better than remakes, that doesn't mean remakes can't feel like a new game, or at least add a bunch of content to keep it from feeling like a quick cash-in. One of the best ideas for a remake is a classic platforming game that many gamers are familiar with one way or another: Banjo-Kazooie. First, a little clarity. While Rare, the company behind one of the greatest gaming duos, works for Microsoft, they are still able to make games for Nintendo's handhelds. While it is confusing as to why Banjo and Conker were taken out of the DS remake of Diddy Kong Racing, it doesn't mean a remake of Banjo-Kazooie is impossible. Rare has already stated on their website in the Scribes section, it's speculative. They don't say it's impossible because Microsoft owns their souls. Rare can develop the game, and another company, probably THQ, can publish it, just like they've been doing. So with the legal issues cleared up, let's talk about what they could improve and add to a Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie remake. The music note collecting in Banjo-Kazooie should be like the Xbox Live version, so that when you leave a world and come back, the music notes do not respawn. Banjo-Kazooie was a great single-player experience, but lacked a great replay value. Yeah, I've played through the game more times than I can remember over the years, but the replay value should be better than that. If there was one thing they could add to it, it would be taking the trivia game at the end and turn it into a multiplayer sequence. Imagine you and other players taking turns answering trivia questions about the game, and once everyone has taken a turn, you play an event from the game that will let you move in extra space if you want. Think Mario Party, except no stars, and the goal is just the end of the board game. And yes, you could have minigames to play from if you just wanted to play them without the board game. Since the 3DS is capable of far better graphics than what the N64 was able to show off, a graphical overhaul would be necessary. No, not those models. I don't want to see the Blocko and Trapzooey models used for this. Just polish the original graphics to make it sharper. Maybe add some fur shading, but not too much shading. I mean, they're using the Melee models for the Ocarina remake, so why not polish it up? That's pretty much all I can think of as to what should be added to a Banjo-Kazooie remake. The game was already a great platformer, so there isn't that much that would make it even better. As far as Tooie goes, most of the changes I would want are personal. I mean, shortening the environment so it doesn't feel like they made it big just to look big, and redoing the music to make it more catchy just doesn't seem possible. So yeah, Wi-Fi, polished up graphics, make the bosses more challenging, fix the frame rate, heck, just make them faster. Oh, and give Mumbo some new moves to make him not suck. All that may not have sounded like much, but there is one thing I would like to see them do if this ever happened. Since these would be remakes, they can add or make any changes they want to, so why not finally make amends for this? First of all, yes, I'm aware of its functionality on Xbox Live, but I don't buy it as the original purpose of the eggs and its functionality. I mean, do you really believe that car parts and an Xbox-themed background were the original rewards of the eggs for the N64 version? Plus, there were some more unexplained characters and connections that don't make any sense. Before Banjo-Tooie came out, there were tons of rumors and speculations about what the eggs and Ice Key do and how to get them. This theory makes the most sense. You would find a character in Banjo-Tooie, and by either talking to them or performing an action, they would then allow you to get either an egg or the Ice Key from Banjo-Kazooie. Then you would swap out Tooie for Kazooie with the N64 still turned on. Get the item in Banjo-Kazooie, then swap out for Tooie, which would then let you get a special unlockable. Swapping out the games was already confirmed when they announced why they dropped it from the N64 version. For those out of the loop, the N64 had a memory glitch in the RAM that kept the data available in the game if it was taken out while the system was still turned on. That's what Rare was going to do until Nintendo had a new model of the N64 in 1999 that reduced the glitch's time from 10 seconds to 1 second. Anyway, back to the theory. There's no strong proof to back this up, but you're allowed to come to your own conclusions after I explain this. There are 3 characters that strongly support the theory of talking to other characters that would have activated the items in Banjo-Kazooie without using the codes. The first one is a character that was in both games, Loggo the Toilet. Loggo is in the workers' quarters in Banjo-Tooie, and one of the eggs you get is on his head in Banjo-Kazooie. The second character is the more infamous Captain Black-Eye. He only made a small cameo in Banjo-Kazooie, and it's rumored that he was the captain of the Rusty Bucket. If that's true, then this would really help back up this theory. In Rusty Bucket, there's an egg on the captain's bed. In the control room is a map that undoubtedly looks like Treasure Trove Cove with an X over what appears to be Shark Food Island, which was also shown to you at the end of the game. That same egg and island also appear as pictures in Tooie's Jolly Roger Lagoon's bar in the same room where you talk to Captain Black-Eye. Whether this is a coincidence or not is up for you to decide. Those two characters only support the theory, but this one makes you question everything. One of the last eggs in Banjo-Kazooie is in Nabnut's house during the winter. After putting in the code, the egg appears on his table, along with a mysterious pink squirrel. This squirrel only appears after the egg does, and doesn't appear anywhere else in either of the two games, not even the end credits. So obviously, there must be some connection. Maybe she was supposed to be in Hellfire Peak's icy side looking for Nabnut, and after talking to her and telling her where he is, she would go and join him. Why the icy side? Hibernation, probably. It's also interesting to note that this same colored egg is the only one not to be shown at the end of Banjo-Kazooie to make it into Banjo-Tooie. Kind of interesting, don't you think? Anyways, this is all just a theory, but I hope it convinced you that Rare hasn't told us everything about the mystery, and a remake would be the perfect way to finally put an end to all the confusion. And yes, I'm aware that this will probably never happen, but that doesn't mean I can't talk about it. If Rare were to remake these games, how would swapping out the games work? Well, there's two ways. The 3DS can store multiple data for games on the system itself. Perhaps if the game offers a code that will let you switch out for the other game and then switch back. That in theory could work. Another is that every 3DS will come with an SD card, so the data could also be stored on there as well. But there's one more thing left to discuss. What else could Stop and Swop unlock for the 3DS? Whatever they were originally supposed to do. But maybe the one that Grabbed by the Ghoulies hints at. Rare also stated that Banjo-Kazooie was originally supposed to have approximately 12 worlds, but 3 of them had to be dropped to meet the deadline. We know what happened to 2 of the 3 lost worlds. Fungus Forest became Fungi Forest in Donkey Kong 64. Mount Fire-Eye became the lava side of Hellfire Peaks. The only world that still hasn't been used is the Giant's Lair, found in early beta videos. If Grabbed by the Ghoulies is correct, then maybe Stop and Swop can add an extra level to Banjo-Tooie. Extra content for a remake makes perfect sense to me.